Weingart Stadium is the location tonight. East LA, Bakersfield coming up in just a couple of moments. Once again, East LA at 2-5, trying to get back into the win column for the first time in a few weeks since their win against Compton in a 60-17 final. Now, if you're the East LA Huskies, the biggest guy that you are looking to rely on is going to be Rudy Garcia. Last week, he got better with each and every snap against College of the Canyons. Sure, the offense wasn't clicking as much as maybe Coach Godinez would have liked. However, Rudy Garcia really started to show up in that ball game. He has over 500 yards of total passing this season and a completion rate of just about 60%. The difference from Week 1 Rudy Garcia versus last week Rudy Garcia is that last week against College of the Canyons, as the game wore on, he began to become more and more decisive in his throws. He decided, you know what? We're currently trailing in the game against College of the Canyons, who is ranked in the top 6 in the CCCAA, and he just decided, I'm just going to let my arm go. I'm not going to aim. I'm just going to trust my arm and start zinging it, and that's exactly what he did. He led the offense 73 yards down the field and got a touchdown for East LA, and he looked really good in the second half. Can he do the exact same thing here against Bakersfield coming up in just a couple of moments? Bakersfield ended up winning the toss. They elected to receive, which means that East LA is going to get the ball starting in the second half. Juan Rangel will put boots a ball and get us underway as this one goes all the way back to Darien Turner. Ball gets taken down the near sideline. It's going to be picked up actually by Malik Duluth. Duluth gets tackled at the 21-yard line, and that is where Bakersfield College will get set to go on their first offensive series. Our officials here this afternoon, Ralph Aranda, joined by Jeffrey Osborn, Eddie Marquez, and Robert Blow, in addition to Corky Cloud, Sidney Blue, and Darnell Anderson as the refs, umpires, linesmen, etc. That's the crew as Bakersfield goes and gets set for their first offensive series. Rather than having the normal Braden Wingle, Larry Harrington is taking over at quarterback and immediately drops the football. That ball was in and out of the hands of Harrington and Shane Jones, and East LA nearly had an opening possession, big-time defensive play. That ball was right in front of the eyes of Tremaine Savea. Savea's opportunity made the eyes get a little big as he tried to hop on that one. Tremaine Jones, or excuse me, not Tremaine Jones, but Shane Jones was able to fall on it before any more damage could be done for Bakersfield. So that brings up a second down, and now about 13 to go. Officials trying to decide where that ball will be placed, and it looks like the 18-yard line is where it's going to be set down. Larry Harrington for Bakersfield College. Normally the backup quarterback for this squad, gives them a little bit more mobility. He's 10 of 19 for 52% completion rate. He'll take the snap, hand it off. That's going to go to Isaiah Martin, who gets past the first level into the second, and all the way down to the 26-yard line is where he will be tackled at the right hash. So a third down and about 5 to go. East LA trying to hold them on their first offensive possession. Defensive line for East LA, Tremaine Savea, joined by Emmanuel Cater, in addition to John Tuyatupo. And on the far side for East LA is Daniel Robledo. Huskies send 4. They bluff 1. This is Harrington picked off. It's going to be taken away by Kershawn Snelson. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, East LA. That's a way to open a game for the East LA Huskies. Snelson on this right-hand side. Harrington was trying to get it over to his left towards Victor Boggs, but instead he overthrows him, and Snelson may not have an easier pick in his life. Kershawn Snelson, the 5'10" freshman, 185 out of Banning, gets a touchdown, a pick 6 for the East LA Huskies. The defense is on the board, and the Huskies lead it 6-0 with Juan Rangel getting a chance to tack on an extra point. For the Bakersfield offense, that is a nightmarish start to this one. 13:42 left to go here in the first quarter, just underway. But if you are the Huskies, an electric beginning. Rangel sees this one placed down, and his kick goes wide and off to the left-hand side. Either way, the Huskies get on the board with a touchdown. 6-0. East LA with the lead over top of Bakersfield. You are watching East LA Husky football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Not to mention here on SportsNetUSA.net, we have a ton of games going on right now. 4 different games all in play. Right now we have Bakersfield College and East LA, which you are currently watching. In addition to down at San Diego Mesa, Fullerton College is traveling down to the San Diego area to take on the Olympians. That one started at 6 p.m. Then you switch over a little bit more southern Orange County area where Saddleback is hosting Golden West College. Albert Robles and the voice of Golden West College football, the franchise, Rashawn Haylock, on the call there. And you go up to East LA as East LA gets or is looking for win number 4 this season against Glendale College, as Aaron Rosenberg is on the call there. So 4 different games all at the same time, as Juan Rangel ends up sending this one back and deep. Ball is going to go into the hands of Duluth. Duluth goes over towards the right-hand side, gets past a couple of blockers, and ends up working his way down to the 28-yard line. And that is where series number 2 for Bakersfield will start off. So Bakersfield College ends up throwing a pick 6 in their first possession. And we'll see whether or not Larry Harrington ends up coming back onto the field. For Harrington, that was his first interception of the season. He had limited playing time up until then. And he was 10 of 19. As that will immediately prompt a change at quarterback. Braden Wingle, who is normally the starting QB for Bakersfield, will enter. He's 79 of 162 for 48% completion rate, 894 yards total. He's not necessarily a mobile quarterback. He's not going to run with his legs, but he does have the ability to work his way out of the pocket and out of trouble. Handoff goes to Shane Jones, and Jones immediately gets tackled at the line of scrimmage, so no gain, and now it's a 2nd down and 10 to go. On the right-hand side for East LA is Tremaine Savea. To his left is John Tuyatupo. In addition to Ben Key and Daniel Robledo. That's the defensive line. Walking up is Chris Jolly on the left-hand side. This is going to be thrown right down the middle. Caught, and it is received by Nicholas Edwards, who gets himself down to the 40-yard line where he is hammered by Aaron Hill. And Hill gets himself a huge tackle and possibly prevents a touchdown there. But nonetheless, it is a huge pickup of over 30 yards. Actually, it's sitting right on a 30-yard completion. So now Wingle will set up at the 42-yard line of East LA. It's a screen pass over towards the left-hand side that is going to be stopped by 4 different defenders for East LA right at the line of scrimmage again. Picking that one up was Myron Randall, and Randall immediately got thrown to the floor by Chris Jolly in addition to Brian Jones. Myron Randall, the leading receiver for Bakersfield. That was his 17th reception of the season. Near side is Isaiah Martin. This is going to go over towards the left to Darien Rowell, excuse me, as Rowell will see that one go way too far over top of his head, and an incomplete pass for 2nd down and 10 to go. Well, if I'm not mistaken, that should be 3rd down, and they do change the marker now. 1st down was a screen play. This was an incomplete pass, so now it's 3rd down and 10 to go. East LA trying to hold Bakersfield after a long reception. In the slot on the right-hand side is Cole Beatty. He's joined by Isaiah Martin and Darien Rowell. Rowell on the left-hand side. Randall trying to find the sticks. This goes right down the middle, and it is caught. Nope, they're going to say it's incomplete as it goes in and out of the hands of LeBreven Austin. So LeBreven Austin, the 6', 196 sophomore out of Bakersfield, couldn't haul it in, and now it's going to have to be a punt coming up for Bakersfield College. Dwayne Hartman, the 5'11" freshman out of Stockdale, will end up kicking this one away. Back to receive for East LA is Jonathan Blackman. Ball goes up to Hartman. Takes 2 steps over to his right, gets that into the air. Fair catch is called, and that is touched by East LA, and Bakersfield has the football. It's Renegade possession. However, we may see a fair catch interference call here, as a flag came flying in as Bakersfield recovered the football. So Jonathan Blackman called for the fair catch, went over to his left to try and receive it, wasn't able to field it cleanly. And it is indeed fair catch interference against Bakersfield, so it's a first down East LA, and they just avoided a huge disaster on special teams. But East LA will take it at the 25-yard line. So East LA gets its first opportunity to see Rudy Garcia and this offense trot onto the field. Garcia is going to be joined out there by Daniel Munguia on that far side, in addition to Jonathan Blackman. In the slot on the right will be DeMonte Presley, and he's out there alongside Jaden James. James is actually in the slot on the right, and Presley is far over to the right. This ball goes over to the right-hand side. In the backfield is Darien Turner. Turner on a screen pass ends up, or excuse me, a wheel, that ends up going to the 30-yard line, and a pickup of 5 is there for East LA. However, East LA sees a flag get tossed. It's normally in the holding vicinity, and that's exactly what the call will be. 6-0, East LA on top of Bakersfield. A pick 6 on the very first offensive series for the Bakersfield Renegades. Kershawn Snelson, the one who ran it into the end zone for East LA. Here's Rudy Garcia. He looks to hand it off to Turner. Turner gets past the initial hole, trying to get back to the 20-yard line, but he's not able to. It's a first down and 15, and now he's going to make it about a first down and 14, as the ball will be set at the 19-yard line. Design run over off the right tackle. Presley wide to the right. In the slot on the right-hand side, he's joined by Jaden James. On the far side of the field is Jonathan Blackman and Daniel Munguia. In the pistol goes Rudy Garcia. Garcia with a lot of time to throw. He does find a receiver on the left, and that will be Presley. And for Presley, he is able to gain about 7 yards on the play, making it a third down and about 8 to go. We'll say 8.5. Rudy Garcia back out there. He's got 4 wide. 2 on each side. Munguia and Blackman, far side of the field. Near side, again, is Jaden James, joined by DeMonte Presley. Darien Turner in the backfield. Rudy Garcia in the gun. He'll take the snap. He's looking over to his left. Rolling. Has to get out of the pocket, and he is slammed to the floor by Holden Williams. 6'2" sophomore out of Taft, and that is a defensive hold for Bakersfield, as Juan Rangel will have to trot back out there. And for East LA, they just weren't able to get themselves a first down. Rangel Punts this one away. It's going to bounce at the 45-yard line, takes a healthy East LA roll, and will work its way to the 36-yard line, where it will be downed. And a first down and 10 to go for Bakersfield is coming up. 6-0, East LA with the lead over top of Bakersfield. You are watching East LA College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. 4 different games going on live here on SportsNetUSA.net. San Diego Mesa taking on Fullerton College. Fullerton College Hornets, of course, hosted here by SportsNetUSA.net. Golden West is traveling down to Saddleback, and LA Valley hosts Glendale. Ball is immediately handed off over to Shane Jones. Jones over towards the right. He ends up getting tackled after 4 yards. And that will make it a second down and about 6 to go. Wingle is back at quarterback. He's got Cole Beatty over wide to his left, in addition to LeBravon Austin. Far side of the field is Myron Randall. Snap is taken. He wants to find Beatty. Does find him on a crossing pattern. Down to the 50-yard line he goes. And they will bring him down at the 49-yard line of East LA. That's a first down for Bakersfield as the clock continues to wind. Under 8.5 to play here in quarter number 1 between East LA and Bakersfield. Your Huskies shining in the Weingart Stadium lights tonight. There's the snap, rolling back as Wingo goes right up the middle, and he's picked off. It's taken away by Jamal Evans. He's going down the left-hand sideline, getting away from Shane Jones. A huge block, and he will be run out of bounds at the 24-yard line. The second pick of the afternoon for this East LA defense, and it's a costly one as Bakersfield is not able to work their way down the field without turning the ball over in 2 of their last 3 possessions. So the first time it was Snelson, the second time it was Jamal Evans, and East LA is back on offense. Presley will be over towards the right. He's joined by Jaden James. Mungia on the far side of the field. And an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty is going to be called against Bakersfield. So now you trotted out 15 more yards, and East LA is going to take it all the way down to the They're going to mark it down at the 13-yard line. Initial spot was at the 14. They move it to the 13. So it's 1st and 10 to go from the 13-yard line. That's a huge play for East LA, a return of just about 36 yards as the coaching staff for Bakersfield College. Coach Jeff Chudy, in addition to Carl Dean and Tyler Thompson, all 3 want an explanation from the refs as to what just happened there a few moments ago. It was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty going against Bakersfield College. As everyone gets set to go, Rudy Garcia goes back out there. He's got Turner with him. In addition to Blackman, Mungia, James, and Presley. Offensive line is set. Defense for Bakersfield College watching on as Mungia goes into the motion down the right-hand side. He'll wheel over to his right. Down the middle, nearly picked off. In and out of the hands of Justin Harrington. And if Harrington makes that catch, he has nothing but green and daylight to look at. That would have been an easy pick 6 going the other way for Bakersfield. So for Rudy Garcia, quick scare, but it's 2nd down and 10 to go from the 13. 7:42 is where the clock is currently stopped. 6-0, East LA with the lead. Bakersfield going with 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers right up the middle. One is the spy on Turner. This will be Rudy Garcia trying to get into the second level himself. He takes a dive over towards his left-hand side and gets up to the 6, make it the 4-yard line as he added a couple extra yards on the stretch out. And it's a 3rd down and 1 to go from the 4 of Bakersfield College. Heavier package coming in for East LA as Adrian Ochoa trots out there. And it looks like he's also going to be joined by Antonio Carrera. Carrera 5'9", 185. Ochoa 5'10", 220. Ochoa is going to act as the fullback here for Rudy Garcia. It's a pitch. It goes to Turner. Turner into a wall. Turner turning his feet and gets a first down. So it'll be a first down and goal to go at the 2-yard line. And East LA is close to getting another score on the board. 6:51 on the clock as Ochoa goes back out there as the fullback, joined by Turner. Garcia trying to draw the defense off sides, and he nearly does get a jump from Davion Williams, Darius Richardson on the right. 4 down linemen. In addition to 3 linebackers all going towards the line. It goes to Turner. Turner off the right-hand side. He's going to be stuffed at the 3-yard line, so he ends up losing a yard. And it will be a 2nd down and goal to go. So they pitched it back to Turner 2 straight times. Wasn't able to get into the end zone either time. Did pick up a first down the first time. 6-0. East LA on top of Bakersfield. Running out for East LA will be Jacob Rivera, the 6'2" tight end. And he'll be replaced by Jaden James. So now you got 3 receivers out there. Blackman on the far side of the field, joined by Jaden James and DeMonte Presley. Ochoa is now lined up as a tight end on the right-hand side. He ends up going to block. Here is Rudy Garcia into the end zone. Cut back, touchdown East LA. Rudy Garcia took it himself on the left-hand side. Adrian Ochoa goes from the right-hand side of the offensive line, wings around towards the left-hand side, ends up getting a block, and finds his way into the end zone for a touchdown, along with Rudy Garcia. He was the lead blocker on it, and he made a path for Garcia into the end zone. Rangel is on for the extra point. The point is there if Rangel can get it through, and he does exactly that. 13-0. East LA with the lead over top of Bakersfield here tonight. You are watching East LA College Football here on SportsNetUSA.net. And we want to thank you once again for joining us here on SportsNetUSA.net. East LA just moments ago ending up getting a rushing touchdown from Rudy Garcia from 2 yards out, giving them a 13-0 lead, and we've got 5:41 left in the first quarter of play. East LA has looked really good here. You started off with the pick 6 that they got from Kershawn Snelson, and then just moments ago, Jamal Evans with an interception at the 39-yard line, and he ran it all the way back to the 24 of Bakersfield. You add in the 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct, and East LA just 4 plays later was in the end zone. So they're up by 2 scores, 13-0. East LA here in the first quarter of play. Juan Rangel ends up kicking this ball high and deep. It's going to go into the awaiting arms of Duluth. Duluth on the left-hand side looking for a blocker, nearly gets shoestring tackled, but does get wrapped up by 4 different Huskies at the 23-yard line to our right. So 5:32 left here in quarter number 1. East LA up by 2 scores. Right-hand side of the defense is Kershawn Snelson. He's also joined out there by Javante Van Buren, in addition to Jamal Evans. Shamar Westone, one of the safeties, joined by Aaron Hill. Chris Jolly, linebacker, with Malatasi Sofa. And down the right-hand side is Van Buren once again. He ends up getting the tackle here. That ball is on the floor. Does Bakersfield have it, or does East LA recovers? The Huskies have recovered. Javante Van Buren forces a fumble, and East LA and the Huskies have taken the ball away for the 3rd time in the first quarter. Huge recovery that ends up getting credited to Chase Davis. The freshman, 6'5", 245, defensive lineman out of Lucerna with the fumble recovery. Ball went over towards the left-hand side. Shane Jones puts the ball on the floor, and East LA takes it once again. And we mentioned the nightmarish start for Bakersfield's offense. Their first possession was a pick six. Their second one, they ended up getting down the field, but stalled at the 33-yard line, punted. Then they end up getting a pick and a fumble on back-to-back offensive series. Empty backfield. Here's Rudy Garcia looking for a chance to get it over to a teammate. Does get it off. That ball is nearly picked off as it pinballs off of two different guys. One of them ending up being Justin Watkins, who checks in for DeMonte Presley on the right-hand side of the offense. Brian Jones now in the slot on the left, joined by Blackman in addition to Mungia. All alone on the right-hand side is Watkins, who also shares return duties as well. Turner is in the backfield, and this will be Rudy Garcia taking the snap at the 20. Ends up as an end around. It goes to Watkins. Watkins gets around one, trying to get towards the left edge, and does get taken down, but he ends up putting the ball on the floor. It's a fumble for East LA. Do the Huskies maintain possession? Watkins had a huge pickup of about 10 yards, and it looks like Bakersfield has taken it away. So both of these two teams not able to keep possession of the football. Just moments ago, it seemed like East LA would have a chance to go up by 3 scores in this one. But Bakersfield now takes it away. Good job by their defense to make sure that Watkins not only wasn't able to get into the end zone, but takes that ball away. Shane Jones goes into the backfield. He's going to be joined out there by Braden Wingle. Wingle over to Jones. Jones goes off of right tackle, and he ends up getting tackled after about 7 to 8 yards. They'll give it 8. And it's a nice pickup on first down to make it 2nd down and 2 to go. Near side of the field is a Darien Rowell, or excuse me, that will be Myron Randall. Far side of the field is a Darien Rowell. LeBravon Austin will be in the slot. Chris Jolly looking to rush from the right-hand side. They spy and watch as Shane Jones brings it up towards the line of scrimmage. He gets stacked 2 yards behind. And with 4:10 left to go here in the first quarter of play, East LA 13 and Bakersfield 0. Wingle in the backfield, joined by Jones once again. He's looking over to his left, goes right down the middle, ends up getting a receiver in LeBravon Austin. And Austin makes the catch. Quick slant there for Austin, and it ends up being a gain of 7 yards and enough for a first down. So now the ball goes to the 26-yard line. Near side is Randall, also joined by Austin. Ends up being a handoff to Jones, and Jones ends up losing a yard as getting into the backfield easily was Tremaine Savea. So Savea gets credited for his 2nd tackle of the afternoon, or tonight, as East LA looks at the clock, 3 minutes exactly. Four down linemen for East LA. They're already in the backfield. Shane Jones gets the handoff, and he is taken down immediately by Chase Davis from behind. Davis, a quick hesitation to make sure that Jones wasn't going to be able to come over towards his side of the field. And by the time he ended up wrapping him up, it's only a gain of 4 yards. 3rd down and 6 to go from the 30, make it the 29-yard line. 2 on the near side of the field, 2 on the far side. Wide receiver set. This will be Wingle. Wingle in trouble. Wingle gets taken down by the defensive line. 2 different guys were in there, one of them being Savea, the other being John Tuiatupo. A sack for East LA, and they force Bakersfield College into a punt coming up. So Bakersfield in their first 5 possessions, pick 6, big gain followed by a punt, and then a pick, a fumble, and a punt once again. Not able to get any points on the board so far. East LA with 13. Flag comes flying in from behind the play. And it's going to be marched off against Bakersfield, as they had 12 different guys join the huddle, and one had to run off at the last moment. Or excuse me, 12 in position, not in the huddle. You'll pretty much never see a huddle at any level during a punt situation. This will be kicked away by Paxton Winders. He ends up dropping the football, nearly gets taken down. Winders has to escape on the far side. He loses the football. East LA has it at the 3. Once again, this East LA defense and special teams has done it. And Bakersfield College just looks stunned. So rather than a punt, it ends up being a muff snap, or at least a muff punt, that gets picked up by Paxton Winders, and he drops the football at the 4-yard line. So East LA is not only in the end zone, they have a huge chance to go up by 3 scores. 1:21 to go here in the first quarter of play, in what has been an eventful first 14 minutes. Trips on the right-hand side. Mungia, Blackman, both out there along with Presley. Rudy Garcia switching sides towards the other end. He's got the corner. He's got the end zone. He dives. Touchdown, East LA. Rudy Garcia gets back in. 2 rushing touchdowns for him. And that's going to bring us to a 19-0 score. Rudy Garcia initially rolled over to his right. The entire Bakersfield defense went with him, and then he reversed over towards the left where he had a trailing receiver in DeMonte Presley, but decided that the corner was there and he could take it himself. He rushes in for his 2nd touchdown of this ball game, and it's 19-0 East LA. Rangel up into the air. He gets the extra points. 20-0, East LA with the lead over top of Bakersfield College. You are watching East LA College football here on Sportsnet USA.net. In just a minute, we'll get some updated scores from around the CCCAA and just see who exactly is in play right now. Here on Saturday, Reedley and Merced College are battling up north. Reedley is up 49-14. In fact, that one just went final, 49-14. Reedley with the victory. They are now 7-1. Back down here in Southern California, Compton and Santa Ana battling it out in a battle of 2 teams who looked like they were going to give up the most points in the CCCAA. Santa Ana wins it, and they go to 2-5, 56-20 the final there. Chaffee goes up to 8-0 as LA Southwest had to end up dropping that game. American River and Butte 14-7. American River with the big victory over Butte, as this one is bobbled initially by a Darien Rowell, and Rowell will see that get downed immediately after recovering the football. So that ball's going to go up to the 25-yard line of Bakersfield College, where they have an opportunity to, well, simply try and gain some yards without kind of running into themselves. Last possession finished off with Rudy Garcia running into the end zone for East LA. 2 touchdowns for East LA on the offensive end, 1 on the defensive end. Bakersfield, pick 6, punt, pick, fumble, punt. That ended up getting muffed and fumble. New quarterback is in. I guess not necessarily new, as Larry Harrington got the start in this one. He's going to rush it right up the middle. He has some blockers. He gets taken down from behind. A 14-yard pickup. Strong run there by Larry Harrington, and he gets himself into the second level. For Harrington, he has a total of 10 rushes and 22 yards if you add in that last one. That is his longest rushing attempt of the season. He's got Isaiah Martin and Shane Jones in the backfield with him. Martin on the right-hand side. Martin's the one who gets the handoff. Martin takes it up to the 42-yard line, and it will be a 2nd down and 7 to go. Officials timeout as there's an East LA Husky who is injured. As we keep with the CCCAA scoreboard here in just a couple of moments. Here in Southern California, El Camino and Palomar are sitting at 14-7 as they start off the second quarter. El Camino with the lead over top of Palomar in a game here on SportsNetUSA.net as the flag is thrown on the field. And we'll see what the call is on that one. 24-0 Glendale with the lead over top of LA Valley. San Bernardino and Citrus are sitting at 7-0. Unsportsmanlike conduct is the call here at East LA, and it will be a 15-yard pickup for Bakersfield. Larry Harrington goes back out there. Split with Shane Jones on his left and Isaiah Martin on his right. He's got 3 receivers. He wants to go to Martin. Martin ends up losing the football. Nope. Actually, he ends up getting tackled after losing half a yard. His helmet comes off, so he has to run back to the sideline. In his stead, Luke Soto, the 6'6" tight end, runs in there for Bakersfield. Far side of the field, Myron Randall, joined by Austin, in addition to Cole Beatty. Shane Jones in the backfield. Jones is not going to get the handoff as Harrington will take it himself. He's got a stiff arm. He tries to get past a couple of linebackers for East LA. One of them ending up being Zion Dixon. After a gain of 3 yards, they will end up running up to the end of the first quarter between East LA and Bakersfield College. A huge quarter to start off for East LA as they pick up quite the sizable margin in the first 15. You are watching and listening to East LA College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Speaking of SportsNetUSA.net, we were mentioning the teams who are carried here on SportsNetUSA.net. Saddleback is up 14-0 on Golden West. And again, Glendale up 24-0 on top of LA Valley. Fullerton College, San Diego Mesa game. No score reported thus far. We do have one from Southern California, which has some possible playoff or bowl game implications. Mount Sac 16-3 over top of Cerritos right now. And Ventura and Canyons are tied at 7 midway through the second quarter. Braden Wingle goes back out there instead of Harrington. So Larry Harrington will take a seat after gaining some yards for Bakersfield. On the right-hand side, he's got Myron Randall in addition to Austin as well. Takes the snap, looking over to his right, nearly picked off, but it is picked up by Randall. Randall gets past 2. He ends up nearly getting taken down from behind. It's a 15-yard gain. Ended up running about 40 yards for it, but nonetheless, he'll take the first down. And Bakersfield has their second consecutive moving of the sticks.
Number 8, John Dixon on the stop for the Huskies.
(14:32), just underway here in the second quarter. That's immediately given over towards the right side to Duluth. Duluth gets past 2. 2 different flags come flying in, as that will be a takedown by East LA, but perhaps it comes with a cost, as Shamar Westone, with a big-time wrestling to the floor of Duluth. That's Malik Duluth, 5'10" wide receiver. You're going to get a hold in the backfield, but the question is whether or not it's a penalty on Westone after the play. So it is a hold against Bakersfield. Actually, 2 different holds against Bakersfield, and a personal foul going against Shamar Westone. And they will end up offsetting one another. So it's a second down, or excuse me, a first down and 10 to go from the 29-yard line. Clock ticking down. Under 14 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. 20-0, East LA with the lead. Snap is taken, immediately goes over to Shane Jones. Jones trying to find a hole, won't be able to do so on the left-hand side of the offense. Jones with over 76 carries this year and 250 yards of total rushing, averaging around 32, 33 yards per game, in addition to averaging 3.3 yards per carry. Has 2 touchdowns. Second down and 9. Taking the snap is Wingle. Wingle looking for a chance to get it right down the middle of the field, and his intended receiver in Cole Beatty was covered by Westone, and neither person was able to get a hand on it as it goes over top of them. So Wingle is incomplete in his attempt to get that ball downfield. He was 79 of 162 entering today with 894 yards. 127 as the average. Clock stopped at 13:27. Third down and 9 to go. East LA trying to hold defensively. Instead, this will be a first down that is given up, and a lot more coming up as Austin is able to work his way into the secondary. And that should be a pickup of about 18 yards. Right down the middle of the field. That's the 3rd straight pickup of 15 or more that these receivers for Bakersfield College have picked up down the middle of the field. Larry Harrington comes back in, so he gives more depth to this offense. Kind of a different look. He has the ability to run it himself in addition to throwing it as well. Harrington looking for the snap, surveys the defense, ends up taking it over down the right-hand side and gets stuffed by 3 different defenders for the Huskies. Tremaine Savea is in on the tackle in addition to Chase Davis and John Tuiatupo. Robledo on the left with Savea. Out there with Tuiatupo and Davis on the far side. Second down and goal to go from the 5-yard line. Ball is placed on the right hash. 20-0 East LA. Snap is taken. Away it goes to Martin, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Bakersfield gets on the board, making it 20-6 our score here in the second quarter. As we've got an injured Husky down on the field, it looks like it's Tremaine Savea. Training staff is going to run out there. So when you look at East LA, they do give up the touchdown here, and that is crucial if you are a Bakersfield fan, as their first possession ends up with a touchdown by Isaiah Martin to put 6 on the board, and they also needed a lengthy drive. That drive ended up going over 60 yards downfield, and finally ended in the end zone with that 5-yard rushing touchdown on the right. As East LA is going to toss out Blessing Tayala. 12:07 to go here in quarter number 2 before we get to the half. 22-6 is our score as Bakersfield is going to end up going for the extra point here. Paxton Winders is out there, looking to attempt the extra point. Gate closing up for Bakersfield on the line. Harrington takes a look behind him. Play clock still not starting as the officials finally give word that we're set to go. Paxton Winders ends up seeing the snap go down. His boot goes through the ball, and it is good. As we have a flag coming in after that ball was through the uprights.
There is a flag down.
The officials having a chat as to what the official ruling is here. Whitehead walking over, 12:07 left. So it's a personal foul going against East LA that will be enforced on the kickoff, and it makes it a 20-7 score. East LA on top of Bakersfield College. You are watching East LA College football here on Sportsnet USA.net. 4 different teams being hosted by Sportsnet USA.net that you can tune into right now. Fullerton College, East LA, LA Valley, and Golden West all having a chance to be in the sun. Glendale taking a 31-0 lead over top of LA Valley right now. Still 14-0 at last check with Golden West at Saddleback.
Winders will kick off from the 50-yard line. Robinson and Watkins back for the Huskies.
So the 15-yard penalty is enforced. It goes up to the 50-yard line. Back to receive. It looks like Blackman is out there and Watkins as well. Make it Mungia and Watkins, and that is well out of the end zone. So no opportunity for a run back for the Huskies. East LA is going to start up their offense once again in just a couple of moments. But as for right now, it's 20-7. East LA with the lead. You are watching East LA College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. This gives us a chance to remind you that all games here on SportsNetUSA.net are brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Maybe you're looking for that new or used vehicle. Well, you can check them out either online or in person. Online at MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com. Wide variety and selection of vehicles for you to choose from, or you can go in person at the corner of the 91 and Euclid. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports high school sports, community college sports, but most of all, they support education. This will be given to the new running back in Armando Velasco. Velasco had a decent game against College of the Canyons, picked up over 50 yards, and routinely just seemed like he was giving East LA an opportunity to keep moving the chains on offense. Near side of the field is Justin Watkins, joined by Daniel Mungia. Far side will be Brian Jones. And they're all joined by DeMonte Presley, Rudy Garcia, and Armando Velasco in the backfield. There goes Mungia, or make it Jones into the motion. Velasco slips out of one would-be tackler, ends up getting into the second level. He's now over to the 40, to the 50. He finally gets dragged down at the 49-yard line of Bakersfield. He was going to get taken down at the 27-yard line, slipped away from a tackler right at the line of scrimmage, and ended up slipping and diving his way to the 49-yard line, a pickup of over 20 yards. for East LA. That is huge for the Huskies. Near side of the field is Watkins. In the slot is Munguia. Far side is Jones in addition to Presley. Velasco stays out there. Will he get the handoff over towards the right-hand side? He does. This time he is stacked on essentially the same play. And it will be a loss of 4, bringing him back to the 46-yard line. So Velasco will check out. And I believe Pierre Robinson comes in for the first time in a while for East LA. Didn't get as many snaps in the matchup against College of the Canyons. But things pretty much evening out in that backfield for East LA with Turner and Velasco in addition to Maury Rams. Snap is there. Garcia right down the middle. Does have a receiver open, and he gets a 5-yard, make it a 10-yard pickup for East LA. Makes it a 3rd down and 5 to go, as that catch will end up being made by Cedric Hood. Cedric Hood on the far side, joined by Brian Jones, Daniel Munguia, and Justin Watkins. East LA does roll at least 6 deep in the wide receiving game. Pierre Robinson switches over towards the left-hand side of the offense. Now back over towards the right, goes into motion, will set up on the right-hand side of the O-line. This is brought over to Brian Jones. Jones diving for the sideline, but the spot will place him 1 yard short, make it 2 yards short of the first down marker, and it's a 4th down and about 1.5 yards to go. East LA is going for it. They've got Rudy Garcia. He's going to try and draw the defense off sides. 20 on the play clock. Under 9 to go in the first half. 20-0 or 20-7 is our score. East LA with the lead. They scored all 20 points in the first quarter. Pierre Robinson looking to block for Rudy Garcia. Pierre gets it right up the middle. He's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, East LA. On a 4th down and 2 to go from the 41-yard line, it's a 41-yard touchdown pass. Pierre Robinson goes to the right-hand side of the offensive line, sets up as if he's going to block and have max protection for Rudy Garcia. Then all of a sudden, he hesitates, moves up 5 yards, and goes right down the middle of the field. It's a touchdown for East LA. So first possession of quarter number 2 finishes off with a Pierre Robinson touchdown. Extra point is up and good. So it's now 27-7. East LA taking it to Bakersfield for the time being. That 20-point differential between the two sides continuing to stay in play. 27-7 is our score. 8:23 left in the second quarter. Kickoff is going to be brought up by Rangel. Back to receive is a Darien Rowell in addition to Malik Duluth. Darien Rowell leads everybody in terms of all-purpose yards and returns. He's got 266 yards of total returns on 13 that he has brought back. But for the most part, Rangel has kept it away from him thus far. Ball goes high, it flies over towards Duluth, towards the sideline, and it just does get out of bounds at the 1. So that will bring the ball up to the 35-yard line. (43-0). Fullerton College over top of San Diego Mesa with 9 minutes to go in the second quarter.
8:23 left in the first half.
Handoff goes over to Shane Jones on the left-hand side, gets past a couple. Finally brought down by Chase Davis at the 41-yard line, make it the 42.
On the tackle, number 91, Chase Davis for ELAC.
Second down and 3 yards to go. 42-yard line, they have to get up to the 45 for a first down. Back in is Larry Harrington. Harrington looking over to his right. That is in the air and caught by Roll. He is brought down after getting the first down marker and 2 more yards. It goes up to the 47-yard line. So for East LA, their first possession of the second quarter is a touchdown. Same was the case for Bakersfield as they marched over 60 yards downfield and ended up getting a touchdown by Isaiah Martin, who jogs onto the field instead of Shane Jones. Snap is taken. Harrington looking to give it up to Martin. Martin takes it, and he brings 4 guys with him up to the 45-yard line of East LA. Clock counting down, under 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. Darien Rowell is going to take over down the far side of the field. He's joined out there by Randall. On the near side of the field is LeBreven Austin. Snap is taken by Harrington. Harrington wants to bring it up himself. Harrington has some extra speed. He's at the 20, the 10, the 5, to the end zone. Pylon touchdown. 45-yard rushing attempt for a touchdown for Larry Harrington. It's his longest of the season. And in fact, for this entire offense, that is the second longest rushing touchdown of the season. Shane Jones, 59-yarder in week 3, is the only one that is bigger. 6:31 to go in the second quarter. And all of a sudden, Bakersfield is back on the board. Larry Harrington with just beautiful breakaway speed down the right sideline. Paxton Winders out there to get the extra point, and he is successful in doing so. 27-14 is our score. 6:31 left here in quarter number 2. You are watching East LA College Football. You're on SportsNetUSA.net. We mentioned it earlier, but we want to mention it here. If you're looking for that new or used vehicle for the holidays, you know that Thanksgiving is coming up. Christmas is right around the corner, New Year's as well. You need a vehicle that is going to be reliable, so that way you can get to relatives, maybe some parties that you have, or perhaps it's even school. Then what you want to do is take a visit down to Miller Toyota of Anaheim. You can either check out their stock online at millertoyotaofanaheim.com, or you can go in person and check them out at the corner of the 91 and Euclid. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports high school sports, community college sports, but most of all, they support education. Again, that is Miller Toyota of Anaheim, corner of the 91 and Euclid. Ball is put up high into the air. Justin Watkins is underneath it. He'll receive it at the 10. Goes up to the 25, and he ends up getting slammed down hard at the 27-yard line. So East LA with a chance to go back on offense, as Bakersfield has been efficient in their last 2 times with the football. Touchdown by Isaiah Martin and a touchdown by Larry Harrington. Now if you're East LA, you've got to put up a little bit of a response. of a response here. Rudy Garcia in the backfield for East LA. He's got 4 wide, 2 on the far side of the field, 2 on the near side. Daniel Munguia, the leading receiver for this team, is in the slot on the left. He's got the safety valve. Now he decides to go deep. He wants Blackman. Blackman, is that picked off? Looks like it is, and that is going to be taken away. No, it's an incomplete pass. Bakersfield College thought that they had the pick. Chris Thompson had that ball in his hands for the longest time, but the sideline official decided, you know what, that ball actually hit the turf, and Thompson didn't put up any sort of fight against the official in terms of arguing his side. So he knew that that one was incomplete, and East LA comes away without a turnover. Rudy Garcia with 2 on his left. He's got Turner behind him. Snap is taken. Garcia drops the football, and that one goes even further back. Turner is just going to fall on it, and he will eat up the yards. Garcia tried to pick it up and then move forward with the football, but instead it goes off the helmet of what looked like Aaron Morgan, the 6'3" defensive lineman out of Florida. And then ended up going all the way back to the 19-yard line. Actually, excuse me, that will be the 14-yard line. So they've got to pick up 26 yards. It's a 3rd and 26 for East LA. Snap is taken by Garcia. Garcia wants to run it himself, still keeping his options open, and he is picked off easily. That goes into the hands of Brandon Dunn, and it's a turnover for for East LA's offense. And now Bakersfield has a chance to bring it to 1 score.
Bakersfield will have it following 5 on the 17-yard line of the Huskies.
(27-14) is our score. Bakersfield College trying to get back on the board. 5:18 left to go here in quarter number 2. Larry Harrington will take the snap. He claps his hands. It goes over to Isaiah Martin, and Martin dives behind himself, and he will end up getting a 2-yard gain. So Isaiah Martin gets 2. 2nd down and 8 to go. Under 5 minutes left in the first half. Martin in the backfield, joined by Shane Jones. They are in the pistol. Roll to the right. Austin to the left, in addition to Randall out there as well. Or excuse me, Beatty. That is going to go over towards the left to Shane Jones. Jones, after picking up just 4 yards, will run himself out of bounds. That will make it a 3rd down and about 6 to go, as the ball will sit at the 14-yard line. So 2 turnovers for East LA. 3 on the other side for Bakersfield. East LA winning that category for now. Harrington will send a guy into motion. It's Shane Jones. Harrington wants to run. Harrington looking to get to the outside. He's got to fling it out of bounds, and he does so successfully. Nice job by Larry Harrington keeping his wits about him as he realized that he was well out of the pocket. Ended up dumping it out of play. And he will play for another down, as it looks like Bakersfield is going to go for it on 4th. So 4:04 is where the clock is stopped. It is a 4th down and 6 to go. Bakersfield is going for it. They've got Braden White, and a timeout is going to be called by East LA, giving Bakersfield an extra opportunity to think about this, as East LA will trot back to the sideline. 4:04 left. 27-14 is our score. East LA with the lead over top of Bakersfield College. You are watching East LA College football here on Sportsnet USA.net. For East LA, immediately following this one, this of course being their last home game of the season, they will travel out to Ventura next Saturday. That will be a 6 p.m. matchup. In addition to Saturday the 16th, they will be at Moore Park at 6 p.m. to close out their season. Again, if East LA wants to get to bowl eligibility, they've got to get to that 5-win mark. A win tonight would bring them up to 3-5, but they've got to beat Ventura and they've got to beat Moore Park. All 3 games have to go into the win column to enable them to get to that postseason eligibility. 4:04 left. Again, 4th down and 7 to go for Bakersfield College. They're getting set and lined up to go for it from inside the 15-yard line. Wingle looking for a teammate. He ends up finding one. It's a 1st down and maybe some more. Randall drops the football as he gets up to the goal line. It's a touchdown as he recovers. Bakersfield scores as Randall got that ball knocked out of his hands at the 1-yard line. However, he fell and that ball bounced up into his chest. A huge break for Bakersfield College. It's 27-20. Bakersfield gets back into the end zone and they look to tack on the extra point here. So for a split second, East LA thought that they had a huge defensive play there. But again, the ball bounces into the arms of Randall and allows him to get into the end zone for the touchdown. So 3 straight drives for Bakersfield College, or possessions at least, finish off with touchdowns. One by Randall, the other by Harrington, and the third by Martin. 21 points in the last 3 possessions for Bakersfield College. You are watching East LA College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. 27-21 here in quarter number 2. Out at San Diego Mesa, Fullerton College is up by a score of 43-0 with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. We'll get some more scores here on SportsNetUSA.net in just a couple of moments. Ball into the air. Justin Watkins gets it at the 4-yard line, and he's going to take it up the field down the right-hand sideline. Tries to find a blocker, ends up getting to the 20. Turned around and brought down at the 19. And East LA needs to put up a reply here in just a couple of moments. Rudy Garcia and the entire offense is going to jog back out there in just a couple of seconds. You are watching East LA College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Glad to be here with you. 3:52 left here in quarter number 2, 27-21. This is the first time in a long time that these two teams have faced each other in a national conference matchup. Well, okay, if you discount last season, which was also in conference play. Or, in league play, as this is going to go over to Pierre Robinson. But the first time that this is hosted at East LA in quite some time. As Pierre Robinson goes into the line of scrimmage, and he is downed at the 20, so it's a 2nd down and 10 to go. Last offensive possession finished off with a pick by Rudy Garcia. East LA trying to get back on the board. They scored 7 points here in quarter number 2. 21 points for Bakersfield here in the second quarter. This goes over to Pierre Robinson. Robinson gains a tough 5, and he will get himself to the 25-yard line. So now you've got a 3rd down and 5 to go. Very manageable for East LA. Clock continues to wind down towards halftime. 2:44 and counting. Play clock now down to 10. Robinson goes into motion, left-hand side. He ends up wheeling out towards the 30-yard line. He's got at least the first down and dives his way to the 38, where he is brought down, and it's a first down and 10 to go as he picks up 12. So Rudy Garcia, nice decisive pass over to his left. Jaden James runs back in. Everyone stopped for a moment. Far side of the field is DeMonte Presley. On the near side is Jonathan Blackman. In the backfield is Pierre Robinson. He already has a touchdown in this game. They end up going with the option over towards the left-hand side. That was all to Pierre Robinson, and Robinson ends up losing 4 yards. So now you've got a second down and 14 to go. Clock's still ticking. We're now at 1:35 left here in quarter number 2 between these two sides. Rudy Garcia entered this ball game with 66 completions in just over 110 attempts and over 600 yards of passing offense. Garcia goes back. He's got a guy right down the middle, and it is caught by Jaden James. Does he hang on to the football? Yes, he does. At the 50-yard line, he is shaken up immediately after as he got decked by Justin Harrington. Clock is going to stop at 1:11. That ball was in his hands. He secured it, got leveled. The ball popped loose for a moment, but he still maintained possession. Huge catch by Jaden James as he gets applause from the crowd. And a first down for his team. They're actually going to mark him back at the 48-yard line. Adrian Ochoa will run out. Daniel Munguia runs in. Brian Jones on the far side of the field, joined by DeMonte Presley, Daniel Munguia, and Justin Blackman. Snap is taken. Rudy Garcia down the middle. Munguia steps out of one tackle, gets away from another. Now up to the 35-yard line, and back-to-back passes right down the middle, benefiting East LA. Now they've got to go into a hurry-up offense with 43 seconds showing on the clock. They do have 2 timeouts, and will we see one here? We do indeed, as Rudy Garcia wasn't sure what the play call was going to be. Either they were going to try and stop the clock quickly or just try and go into their normal set. Instead, they call a timeout. So that leaves 1 left before the half. 39.5 seconds remaining here in quarter number 2. You are watching East LA College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Bakersfield College fans over to our left. East LA College supporters down below us and over to our right as well, as the East LA Huskies are trying to put some points on the board here right before halftime. 39.5 seconds remaining. Bakersfield has scored on each of their last 3 drives. They've all been touchdowns, and East LA is 2 of 3 on their last 3. Pierre Robinson, 41-yard touchdown right down the middle of the field the last time that East LA got on the board. Turner goes into motion right side of the offensive line. Here's Rudy Garcia escaping from pressure, dumps it off over to Jones. Jones, does he get out of bounds? He does not. He gets decked at the 23-yard line to the point where his helmet came off. Did he get out of bounds, though, is the question. It didn't look like it. Clock will be stopped until the ball is placed down. It's 30.2 to go. He's got to get out of bounds as quickly as possible. Jaden James comes running in for him. Daniel Munguia is out there as well. They are also joined now by Daniel Dexter on the far side of the field, in addition to DeMonte Presley on the left. 30.2. They do give him the benefit of getting out of bounds as the clock was stopped. Down the middle, Munguia looking for it. Caught! Touchdown, East LA! A bullet pass from Rudy Garcia that was only catchable for Daniel Munguia. It's a 27-yard touchdown pass for East LA, and they're back on the board. It's now 33-21, and Rudy Garcia continues to get more and more confident stepping into those types of throws. He had 3 different throws of over 17 yards on this drive, and he ends up getting East LA back into the end zone with 22.5 left on the clock. The extra point is good, and it makes it 34-21. So a touchdown going to Munguia. And East LA now leads it 34-21. And again, for Rudy Garcia, he ends up going into the pocket, waits a couple of moments, and then lines one right down the middle of the field. And by saying that Munguia was the only one who was able to catch that pass, that's not an understatement. That ball was over towards his left shoulder, and the only one covering him was Justin Harrington, who was at his right hip. So when that ball comes in, it's at his left shoulder. He catches it with his left arm. Harrington is across his body, not able to reach over and break that up. Touchdown East LA. Beautiful pass there by Rudy Garcia. Great catch by Daniel Munguia, and it makes it 34-21, a 13-point advantage for East LA as they have their 5th touchdown of the night. 22.5 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Juan Rango is going to boot this one away, making sure that he has a lot of communication with the rest of the guys out there with him on special teams. Bakersfield initially expecting an onside kick. Rango squibs it right down the middle, has a lot of movement on it. It's going to go up to the 7-yard line where it's picked up by Duluth. Duluth going right behind Rowell, and Rowell actually gets in front of him. He runs into Rowell, and that ball, after taking a total of 7 seconds off the clock, will be downed at the 26-yard line of Bakersfield. So Bakersfield is going to have to try and go out for a couple of decently sized plays in just a couple of moments.
Also over there, Brandon Peterson and Keon Dixon. 15 seconds left in the first half. Renegades will take over. Ball will be spotted out there.
34-21 is our score. 13-point lead, and it looks like Bakersfield is actually just going to need here in just a couple of moments and get themselves to the half. East LA ends up walking up, looking to crowd the line, bluffing a rush by Emmanuel Cater, but instead it is Need. And Bakersfield College content to go to halftime, down by 13. It's 34-21 as we go into the half. East LA continues with a 13-point lead. And once again, these East LA Huskies looked great here this afternoon. East LA is going to get the ball entering the second half of play as Bakersfield received the opening kickoff. Couple of words on that far side for the Bakersfield staff as we quickly recap what took place here in the first half of play. Bakersfield immediately got the football, got themselves up to the 21-yard line, but a pick six ensued as Harrington ended up tossing one into the awaiting arms of Kershawn Snelson, and it put East LA up 6-0. 30-yard gain on the next opportunity for Bakersfield, but they would end up punting at the 44-yard line. That's when East LA got a touchdown from Rudy Garcia, a rushing touchdown and variety. And then Bakersfield, in their ensuing possessions, ended up getting a pick, a fumble, and a punt that was muffed, followed by a fumble. East LA capitalized with a couple of Rudy Garcia touchdowns and a touchdown by Pierre Robinson. But in the second quarter, a lot of the play was mainly focused on Bakersfield's offense. They had 3 straight possessions where they converted on touchdowns, one by Isaiah Martin, the other by Larry Harrington, and then finally, the last touchdown was scored by Myron Randall to give them a 21-point second quarter. East LA scoring just a few moments ago to bring it to to 21. That's where we stand at the half. As we step aside, we'll try and find ourselves some stats and the rest of Bakersfield and East LA. You are watching East LA College Football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Back underway here in the second half. Justin Watkins is going to take it from the left-hand side across the field, and he will end up getting taken down right at about the 31-yard line, and that's exactly where they're going to place the ball down. So the 31-yard line of East LA is where the ball is going to start off for East LA's offense. Live here in the third quarter, 34-21 is our score. East LA's Rudy Garcia goes back out there on offense. Garcia right down the middle looking for Jaden James. James gets away from one tackle initially, gets wrapped up by three, sandwiched in fact, after a gain of about 6 yards. That brings them up to the 41-yard line, and it's a 2nd down and 4 to go for East LA. Now in the first half, East LA looked pretty good in that first quarter, scoring 20 points unanswered. They got 14 in the second quarter to keep them at a 13-point lead over top of Bakersfield. And now they take the football, starting off half number 2. 4 wide for Rudy Garcia. 4 down linemen for Bakersfield. Into the slot, motion left goes Jaden James. That ball is in and out of the hands of DeMonte Presley, and it will fall to the floor to make it a 3rd down and 6 to go. Third and 6. He's got James on the near side, joined by Justin Watkins, Mungia on the far side, and Blackman as well. Turner's in the backfield. They're going to stop. Everybody's going to take a look at the sideline and make sure that they have the correct play. Darien Turner, the 5'9" sophomore, out of Los Angeles. Gets set. He goes into motion, left-hand side, reverses back over towards the right side. He's got at least the first down, moves up into the secondary, and will end up making his way to the 47-yard line. A 1st down coming up for East LA.
Run is good for an ELAC 1st down. Ball be spotted on the 46-yard line.
Here's Rudy Garcia taking a look at the sideline once again. Wants an opportunity to get them back into the end zone. Make it a 3-score game. Justin Watkins on an initial screen. He's got some speed to run with. He gets down to the 34-yard line. A huge pickup for Justin Watkins. That was an easy setup down the right-hand side. Jaden James went out to block for him, and in fact, he got right up to Damaris Heron, bodied him up, and allowed for Watkins to move forward. Our score is 34-21. Live here in the third quarter, Ryan Osborn joining you in Weingart Stadium. Next up, here's Turner. He gets reversed, turned around, and gets brought down after a gain of, they'll give him 2 yards. So Darien Turner will end up finding his way to the 33, and it's a 2nd down and 8 to go. Two wide on the right-hand side. That's going to end up being Watkins as he switches up with Jaden James. A lot of communications there. There is a bullet pass over to Mungia. 1st down, East LA. It seems like Rudy Garcia, with each passing drive, he's getting more and more confident, just realizing where the sticks are and delivering passes directly to them. Under 12 to play here in the third quarter, just underway out of the half. Rudy Garcia came into this one with a 59% completion rate. 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and a long of 70 yards. Garcia looks forward once again. Now it's going to go right up the middle over to Munguia. Munguia contact down to the 3-yard line. He's got some open space to work with and places the ball down. It will indeed be the 4-yard line, as they say his knee ended up reaching down at the 5, but the ball was outstretched to the 4. And it's a first down and goal to go for East LA here in the 3rd. Their opening drive of this 3rd quarter. They've taken up just about 3.5 minutes here in the 3rd. They're trying to get their 3rd win of the season, get themselves to 3-5. Garcia thinking about a handoff. He does find Munguia, who spins his way into the end zone. Beautiful play there by Munguia as he turns around a defender for Bakersfield College. Easy walk into the end zone after he got past Trey Bell. No contest, making it 40-21. Another touchdown for East LA. That is their 6th of this ball game and their 1st here in the 2nd half. That is something big here for East LA as they are able to get on the board with a touchdown by Munguia. That is his 2nd. And East LA, with 11:09 left to go in the 3rd, has made it 41-21, a 20-point lead once more. So 11:09 left, and Garcia just walking East LA right down the field. This is the type of game that they're going to have against Ventura next week. Of course, you can't look too far forward, considering that we still basically have 2 full quarters left to play and just 20 points separating these 2 sides. But if East LA wants to get themselves to bowl eligibility, it's a march to postseason play. They've got to have a game similar to this. Rudy Garcia and the offense has been clicking. They have looked really good. As Juan Rangel is going to get set to kick it off. They've got Duluth joined by Rowell. This ball is going to go over towards Rowell's side. The first time he gets a chance to return something. He's at the 5-yard line, gets up to the 15, the 20, and is taken down. Brian Jones is in on the tackle there. He is pumped up and ready to go after taking Rowell to the floor. The 20-yard line is where Bakersfield College will begin their offensive series. 11:02 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's 41-21, East LA up by 20. You are watching East LA College football tonight here on SportsNetUSA.net. So Bakersfield takes over. Larry Harrington goes back in. Harrington hands the ball off. Nope, he's going to tuck it and keep it himself. He had the option of giving it over to Isaiah on his left-hand side, Isaiah Martin, that is. But he ends up rushing for 5 yards. He'll still take that on a 1st down rush. And now it's a 2nd down and 5 to go. You look at Coach Godina's squad, and it just seems like with each passing week that they get, the more and more experience that you see from them, the defense is stepping up more. Rudy Garcia in the offense is learning how to maneuver against different teams. This will go right down the middle and into a foot race is Isaiah Martin. He's down the left-hand sideline. He gets pushed out of bounds and finally taken down at the 35-yard line.
Knocked out of bounds by number 87.
10-18 left here in the 3rd quarter.
Run is good for a Bakersfield 1st down. Ball on the 35-yard line.
31-3 is the score over at LA Valley. Glendale with the lead over top of the LA Valley Monarchs. After a big gain by Isaiah Martin, this goes handoff over to Shane Jones. Jones gets taken down by 2 and finally gets wrestled down, and a little pushing and shoving after the play. as Malatasi Sofa was in on the tackle, and Shane Jones wasn't happy that Sofa wasn't getting off of him as quickly as he would have liked. Under 10 minutes to play here in the third. Two receivers on the left-hand side. One of them being Austin. He's looking Austin's way. Instead, he's going to end up leaving it for Beatty. And Beatty gets a 7-yard reception. That brings up a 3rd down and 3 to go, now at the 28-yard line. Manuel Cater takes over on the right side of the defensive line. He's joined out there by Tremaine Cervea. Cervea in addition to Daniel Robledo and Ben Key. Whistles prior to the snap going, as the officials are trying to figure out some information here. An official's timeout. More talking with the sideline, and now the windmill motion from the White Hat, and we're back underway. So Beatty down the left-hand side. They've got Roll on the far side, joined by Austin, in addition to Randall. Snap is taken. This is given up. Over to Shane Jones. Jones gets out of one. Does he get the first down? They're going to give him a nice spot getting up to the 24, 25-yard line. And he gets the first down. He'll move the chains. They do give him the 25, so it's placed on the left hash. Out at San Diego Mesa, Keshawn Griffin has broken the Hornets' kickoff return record, opening up the second half of play. Snap is taken. This is Wingle down the middle, has a chance. That should be PI. 2 flags come flying in. So that was easily going to be a touchdown pass going over to the hands of Austin. But 2 guys get on him. And that will be a pass interference penalty going against Shamar Westone. So 15 yards. From the 25-yard line, should bring them to the 10 if I'm not mistaken. And my math is correct. It seems like they're going to place the ball right at the 10-yard line. So that will be a 1st down and 10 to go officially. 2 guys on the left-hand side of the offense, one being Roll, the other being Beatty. In the backfield is Martin, right down the middle. Martin touchdown. Bakersfield back on the board as these 2 teams trade back and forth. 41-27, 7:49 left here in the third quarter. Bakersfield, the Renegades, have another touchdown by Isaiah Martin. So both of these 2 teams, their first possession out of halftime result in touchdowns. That's the 2nd rushing touchdown for Isaiah Martin. Both of them have been tough runs, and he has gotten into the end zone from outside of 5 yards. On each occasion, this is a little dead duck going right through the middle of the uprights, and it does indeed go through. The extra point is good. 40-28 is our score. 7:49 left to go in the third quarter. You are watching East LA College Football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Kickoff getting set to be sent away high and into the air. Little floater for Justin Watkins. Watkins at the 5, decides to go down the middle. Watkins nearly gets taken down, wants to go to the right-hand sideline, looking for speed. Does get chased out of bounds finally, as that's going to be a little bit of an extracurricular shove there that was given on the left-hand side by Bakersfield. A couple of guys were in on the activities, one being Bryce Moore, and the other right behind him being Jimmy Henry. That's what you hear below us. The East LA fans not happy that there wasn't a flag thrown, as it looked like Moore may have gotten the hands to the face of an East LA kick returner, but nonetheless, neither team escapes, or neither team ends up getting docked by a penalty. Pierre Robinson down the right-hand side. He'll end up getting out of bounds, and that is a gain of 5. So Pierre Robinson goes out. They initially gave him the 5 yards. They instead backtrack it 2, and they'll bring it up to the 37, make it the 38-yard line. Rudy Garcia, starting QB now for East LA, joined by Pierre Robinson, in addition to Daniel Munguia. He's out there with Blackman as well. Brian Jones, as he dips and dives his way, Pierre Robinson that is, into a 3-yard gain to make it a 3rd down and manageable, sitting at 4 yards. So just about 12 feet that East LA needs to gain here. Running off on the far sideline for the Bakersfield Renegades is Stephen Rowland. He ends up getting replaced by Trey Bell. Bell on the defensive line on the far side. 4 wide once again. Here's Rudy Garcia in the right. He's got Blackman in addition to Jones. Jones goes into the motion left-hand side, ends up getting pitched over to him. Gets hit so hard that he loses a helmet, and we may see a targeting penalty here in just a moment. That is a 10-yard pickup, but we'll see what happens, as when Jones got hit, his helmet went flying and so did his mouthpiece. White hat conferring with 2 other officials. 6:18 left here in the 3rd quarter. Will that be a targeting penalty? Personal foul going against Bakersfield. Targeting is the call, and that means that Bakersfield will be down a man. So Bakersfield sees a targeting penalty take place. That means that the guilty party, who we did not end up seeing who it was, there were 3 different guys who were in on the tackle for Bakersfield. And it looks like it may have been Justin Harrington, and if so, that is a huge loss for this Bakersfield defense. And it is indeed Harrington. So Harrington is not only done for this game, he's done for the first half of the next game. This goes over to Munguia. Munguia trying to find his way into a reception. Finds that hitting the carpet. Harrington not happy about that call at all, as he's being walked across the stadium and to the Bakersfield locker room. 6:01 left here in quarter number 3. So for Bakersfield, that's a big loss because he's their starting safety. And they will lose him for the first half against Moorpark next week. Bakersfield has lost 2 out of their last 3. Golden West, Ventura, and Long Beach in that span. Their only win coming against Orange Coast. Rudy Garcia finds a wide open Daniel Munguia. He has the sticks. He ends up getting tackled by 4, but still ends up getting 4 more yards. Daniel Munguia with some heavy contact, but he goes right into it, no fear, and finds a first down.
Ball out to the 25-yard line.
Here's Garcia over to his left. He's going to look for DeMonte Presley, who just ends up missing a touchdown. Why, you ask? Because if he ends up past Damaris Herron, he is into the end zone. However, he ends up getting taken down. There is a flag, however. It looks like it may be hold against East LA, which would bring it to still being a first down for East LA. First down and 15 to go. Two guys on the right, one being Justin Watkins, in addition to Jaden James. Daniel Mungi on the left-hand side of the field, joined by DeMonte Presley. Pierre Robinson is in the backfield, in addition to Rudy Garcia. Ernesto Almaraz on the right side of the O-line. The right tackle sees as Pierre Robinson looks to get the left edge. He ends up regaining some of the lost yardage, finds himself gaining 4. And actually they give him 5. So that brings it to a 5-yard pickup. 25-yard line is where the ball is placed down. Pierre Robinson will go to the sideline, joined by Turner. And running in will be Blackman, as taking the right-hand side of the offense will be DeMonte Presley. So a different look here. Empty backfield besides Rudy Garcia. 5 wide. Snap is taken. It's going to go to the right-hand side to Justin Watkins. Watkins looking for a blocker. Watkins brought end over end, but he ends up gaining 8 yards. Under 4 to play here in the third quarter. 41-28 our score. (41-28). 13-point lead for East LA. They're trying to add to it here. They've still got the 5 wide set. Garcia decides he's going to take it himself. He gets brought down from behind. A terrific grab by Aaron Morgan, the 6'3", 271-pounder out of Florida. A freshman tracking him down. And Garcia, with the quick delay, will now go back to the offensive line. Goes into the gun. He's got 2 on his right, Mungia and DeMonte Presley. On the left-hand side, it's Blackman, James, and Watkins. 4 guys will rush for Bakersfield on the defensive line. Watkins goes into motion, left-hand side, acts as a safety valve. He does get it. Tries to go to the outside, gets brought down by 3 different Bakersfield Renegades. And on a first down and 10, finally gets wrestled down for a loss of 4 yards. Ended up having some words after the play was over with Holden Williams. And both Williams and Watkins had to be separated. Clock continues to wind. Exactly 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go until the end of the third. Garcia 5 wide, Watkins on the right, joined by DeMonte Presley and Jaden James. Looks like it's going to be Jaden James' dialed number, but instead that goes over top of him and incomplete. So now it's a 3rd down and 13 to go. They need to get to the 5-yard line inside the red zone for East LA. Mostly successful. In fact, each time that East LA has been inside the red zone, which they have a total of 8 touchdowns. Or excuse me, not 8 touchdowns. But they have a total of 6 touchdowns. Each time that they have been in the red zone, which is 5 times, they have been successful in scoring a TD. Here's Munguia on the right-hand side, only ends up getting 5 back. And it will be a 4th down and just about 9 to go. The field goal unit is going to trot on, so that means we're going to see Juan Rangel coming up in just a couple of moments. Juan Rangel, chance to kick this one up, and towards the left. Does he get it through? He does indeed. More points for the home team, 44-28. Juan Rangel is successful in his attempt. So you can tack on 3 more points, 44-28 with 1:37 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. You are watching East LA College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. 31-yard attempt there by Juan Rangel was good. Entering tonight, Rangel, in terms of field goal kicking, was 6 of 9 with a long of 50. Well, now he is 7 of 10, 70% exactly. And extra points, he is now a total of 24 for 27. Just about 91% or so. As he is the leading scorer on this team with 45 points to his credit. Excuse me, 44 points. Got to get that math going right. 1:37 left here in the 3rd quarter. Rangel puts the boot through the leather. It's going to go over towards the left-hand side to Duluth. Duluth looking to add some speed. Now crosses over to the far sideline. He's got one person to beat. A flag comes flying in. On the far sideline, he's at the 50, at the 40 of East LA, and that is a huge return of just about 55 yards. But we will see what the flag is on the near side of the field. It looks like it could be a hold going against Bakersfield, which would bring it all the way back to about the 20-yard line. White Hat getting the official word. The East LA sideline seems as if they believe this is going to go against Bakersfield. It's a hold going against Bakersfield, so that will negate the 55-yard return, and it will jog it all the way back out to just about the 23-yard line is where the officials have the ball right now, and that's where it will be placed. So the 23-yard line as Bakersfield College gets set to go back on offense. The question is who will come in at quarterback, and it looks like initially Braden Wingle is the one who will have a chance to direct this offense. Wingle will hand it off. Immediately it goes to Martin. Martin gets brought down by Jamal Evans. And Evans, with 1:14 left, we'll see this go up to a 2nd down and 7 to go. Over at Fullerton College in San Diego Mesa, down in very, very Southern California. It's 70-7. The Hornets with the lead over top of San Diego Mesa. That Hornet offense absolutely awakening. This is Wingle on the right-hand side. He's looking for a teammate to get it to. He'll unload it right down the middle, and that is going to be caught, brought in by Beatty, and he is wrestled from behind by, it looked like, Evans. Evans comes up not too happy with the tackle there. Actually, it's going to be Shamar Westone. But it's a huge pickup of over 24 yards. Under 30 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Beatty on the near side, joined by Rowell. Far side is Randall. Wingle goes back, looking for Randall, looking for Randall. He has Randall at the 50, Randall at the 45, And Randall brings it down to the 44-yard line. (44-28) is our score. A lot of discussion going on right now between these two sides as it looks like they may run it out to the end of the third quarter. In doing so, our score, 44-28. You are watching East LA College Football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan Osborn joining you live here high up at Weingart Stadium as East LA tries to continue the offensive onslaught. But first things first, they have to be able to stop Bakersfield, who is driving down the middle of the park. Bakersfield with a pickup of 24 yards just a few moments ago. That went from a toss from Braden Wingle into the awaiting arms of Cole Beatty. So the ball is going to end up going to the 44-yard line of East LA. Both teams switch sides on the field. Huskies 44, Renegades 28. Snap is there. Here's the handoff. It goes over to Martin, who leaps over a guy. That was Kershawn Snelson, who had the pick six in the first quarter. It ends up giving him about 1 yard. Nonetheless, impressive to see Martin just displaying his athleticism. Now into the fourth quarter, the final frame of play between these two sides. Bakersfield trying to get back into it. They are down by 13. Moving forward, rushing, pulling, grappling, and crawling his way to the 40, make it the 39-yard line, is Isaiah Martin. 44-28. It's actually a 16-point lead for East LA. So Bakersfield College, they're going to get back into it. They need a couple of touchdowns and, in theory, a couple of two-point conversions. Manuel Cater looking on the left-hand side. Trying to get to Wingle. Still trying to get to Wingle. That ball is heaved up there. It's in the air. It's popped up. Neither person can get to it, as it looked like it was Cole Beatty who was going up against Shamar Westone. Westone was coming back for it and just wasn't able to haul it in. So the clock stops at 14:04 here in the fourth quarter. You are watching East LA College Football here on SportsNetUSA.net as we go to take a look at the CCCAA scoreboard right now. Up north, Foothill takes down Contra Costa by a score of 34-0. That is a final there. Santa Barbara drops one to Allen Hancock, who is now 6-2, 28-13. Pasadena City College, 30-2 score over top of Santa Monica. Two teams who are in the top 15. Butte ends up losing to American River by a score of 14-7. So American River now goes up to 5-3, while Butte goes to 6-2. And they will presumably drop outside of the top 8. Antelope Valley handing Mount San Jacinto a surprising second straight loss, as they started off the season 6-0, and now they are sitting at 6-2 with a 21-20 win over top of Mount San Jacinto and Coach Mazzota's squad. Down here in Southern California, Fullerton 71, San Diego Mesa 7, Fresno City 20-3 over top of Modesto, 42-17 Saddleback over top of Golden West College. That's also here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ventura and Canyons are in a shootout, 35-34. Both of those two teams in the top 7. This goes over towards the right-hand side. It's going to go to Shane Jones. Jones gets brought down by 2, And it's going to be a 3rd down and 8 coming up for Bakersfield, as 2 big guys were in on the tackle, one being Daniel Robledo, the other being Tremaine Savea. Cerritos hosting Mount Sac in their homecoming game. 36-10 is our score, as Mount Sac with the huge 26-point lead over top of the Cerritos Falcons. And then finally, Southwestern and Riverside. It's Southwestern 12, Riverside 7, as they are in huge trouble. Timeout taken by East LA with 13:24 on the clock. 44-28 is our score. You are watching East LA College Football here on Sportsnet USA.net. So once again, just a few moments ago we said Southwestern and Riverside. Southwestern is leading the #1 team in the country by a total of 5 points. Now when you look at it, yes, they're the #1 team in the country. However, Riverside City College has had a lot of trouble in the last 5 weeks of play. 2 times they have had to come back from over 14-point deficits. One specifically being that Long Beach City College game, which they had to come back from 17 down in the 3rd and 4th quarter. Well, right now they're down by 5 coming out of the half. Also here on SportsNetUSA.net, Glendale and LA Valley. It's currently a 31-11 lead for Glendale over top of LA Valley. So that does it for the out-of-town scoreboard. 13:24 left here in the 4th quarter of this one. It's 44-28. East LA College with the lead. They're trying to hold Bakersfield on a 3rd down and 8 to go from the 38-yard line. Ball goes back to Wingle. Wingle over to his left, and it will go in and out of the hands of Shane Jones. Jones with the drop. That is going to bring up a 4th down and 8 to go. And Bakersfield is realizing that in needing 2 touchdowns, they are going to have to go for it from this territory. So the ball is actually at the 37-yard line. 4th down and 7. On the right side of the field, it will end up being LeBrevon Austin. 4 wide, 1 being Rando on the near side. You have to watch out for Cole Beatty in the slot on the left. Wingo going towards Beatty's side. Beatty wide open at the sticks. He doesn't go to him. He tosses it up the middle. Nearly picked off in and out of the hands. Either way, it's a turnover, and East LA has held Bakersfield again to their 4th turnover of this ball game. That was in and out of the hands of Aaron Hill, who had a chance to be the 3rd person on this defense to get a pick. He is shaking his head because he knew he had one in and out of his arms. 13:09, either way, East LA will take it. They forced Bakersfield into a turnover on downs. Here on the near sideline in the 4th quarter, Coach Cadena is watching on as he has Rudy Garcia dropping back. He's going to give it up to Turner. Turner runs into a wall of 3, and he will end up gaining 2 yards on the play. So that brings up a 2nd down and 8 to go. Under 13 to play, more specifically right around 12 and a half. Turner goes into motion. Right-hand side, it's a pitch over to Adrian Ochoa. Ochoa doesn't have much room to run, as immediately following, he ends up getting decked by the defensive line of Bakersfield. Damani Jackson in on the tackle, 6'2", out of West High School. "12 minutes on the clock. East LA trying to kind of stretch out the play clock as much as they possibly can. As was mentioned to me in the booth earlier, Rudy Garcia has only been sacked once in this ball game. He's really been given the amount of time that he needs to release. This is Adrian Ochoa turning around for the football. Does he get the sticks? No, he's going to be about a half-yard short, but nonetheless a beautifully athletic play by Adrian Ochoa. As on the near side of the field, Jonathan Blackman thought that he had the first down. Points towards the end zone, but instead it's a 4th down and about a half a yard to go. Bakersfield realizing that Rudy Garcia is trying to draw them off sides. Under 15 left on the play clock. Garcia still waiting. Now he'll take a look at the sideline, and East LA watching on. They may wait until 1 second on the play clock and call a timeout. Timeout is called. 10:57 to go on the clock. 44-28 is our score. You are watching East LA College football here tonight on SportsNetUSA.net. All games here on SportsNetUSA.net are brought to you by the aforementioned Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Now, a lot of things that people look for in terms of buying a service or buying a car or just a new product in general from anywhere, the #1 rated thing that people want to see is good service. Well, you can find that at Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Miller Toyota of Anaheim has a parts and service department that is open 7 days a week for your convenience. Not to mention that they also have military discounts, student discounts that you can all find online or in person. Check them out online at MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com or in person at the corner of the 91 in Euclid. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports high school sports, community college sports, and most of all, they support education. Once again, that is Miller Toyota of Anaheim. East LA coming out of the timeout is going to end up punting this one away. Everyone switching around. Formation is different here for the East LA Huskies. Rango gets it off. This is going to take a heavy East LA College hop, and it's going to get inside the 10-yard line. And a beautifully done job by Juan Rangel as he shows the little chip shot there. 44-28. That is a punt of just about 48 yards. And it pins them to the 6-yard line. Great job by Juan Rangel. 10:43 left here in the third quarter. 44-28 is our score. 16-point lead for East LA. Looking to hang on here against Bakersfield College, and Bakersfield needs at minimum 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. 44-28. Wingo goes back into the backfield. On his right-hand side is Martin. He's going to hand it off to Martin. Martin gets past 2 different linebackers and finally gets brought to the floor by Kershawn Snelson. 10.5 to go. Bakersfield isn't going to allow more than 15 seconds to go off the play clock before getting another playoff, as they still technically have time with about 10:20 to go, but they have to be able to get into an abbreviated offense. They have to get down the field as quickly as possible. They do have all 3 timeouts. Wingle over to his left. This is going to be brought to Rowell. Rowell makes the catch. He will gain 4. Make it 5 to the 15-yard line and be about a yard short of a first down. The tackle is made by Aaron Hill.
Number 11 on the stop, Aaron Hill.
Kershawn Snelson here on the left-hand side. Aaron Hill on the far side of the field. Rowell is going to take the wide receiving duties on that far side. In the slot, moving over to the right-hand side of the offense and colliding with Wingo is Cole Beatty. He's joined out there by Randall. Snap is taken. Randall is the intended target initially. This ball is in the air and it's incomplete. East LA sideline petitioning for an intentional grounding play, as this will be a 4th down and 1 to go. And the punter will come in for the Bakersfield Renegades. That is Dwayne Hartman who has to come back out there. He's the one who had the muff punt earlier, in addition to the fumble that allowed East LA to get to the 4-yard line and eventually score. Dwayne Hartman with a 44-28 deficit. East LA is up. He gets that ball away. It's high into the air. Jonathan Blackman ranging back. He will make the catch. And that ball is placed at the 41-yard line with 9:11 to go. East LA is still up by 16. You are watching East LA College football here on Sportsnet USA.net. Rashawn Haylock reporting in from Golden West College. And they're trekked down to Saddleback. It is Saddleback 49, Golden West 24 with 3:24 left to go in the third quarter of play as of just a few moments ago. East LA with Rudy Garcia at the helm. He's got Watkins on the far side. He's going to end up handing it off to Turner. Turner passed 4 different men. He ranges down to the 40-yard line as the East LA sideline is asking for a penalty to go against Bakersfield College as James Johnson had a step and a push down over top of Turner, but Turner with a total of 16 hard gained yards. 41-yard line is where the ball is placed. If East LA is able to get on the board, that is effectively the dagger in this one. We've got under 8.5 to go. Snap is taken. Garcia goes back. Garcia down the middle. Intercepted. It's picked off by the Renegades and taken away by Mason Wright. Wright ends up getting tackled at the 44-yard line, and that is exactly the break that Bakersfield College needed. They'll bring it up to the 43 instead as East LA has that one turned over. And Bakersfield, with 8:18 left to go in the fourth, are down by 16. So that brings out Larry Harrington. Trying to bring out a change in pace here for Bakersfield. They've got Roll on the far side, Beatty in the slot on the near, joined by Randall. Harrington going to take it himself right up the middle. He runs into a wall of 2. And that will allow him to get 5 rushing yards. So a 2nd down and 5 is coming up.
Brought down by number 56. Danny Rafael.
Harrington with 15 on the play clock. A lot of time bleeding out here for Bakersfield. Harrington's going to take it himself. He's got a wide open Beatty. Goes for the bomb, looking for Roll. Inbounds. Roll can't get to it. No PI call. Bakersfield saw Larry Harrington have a wide open Cole Beatty at the 42-yard line, who was asking for the football but didn't end up getting it from Larry Harrington, as Harrington decided he wanted to go for the 10-yard line, and it goes incomplete. 3rd down and 5 to go. East LA trying to stop Bakersfield College. Emmanuel Cater back in there, nearly getting taken down is Harrington, but he places a beautiful pass to the far side of the field that is received by Nathan Jackson, or make it Zach Hartsfield, the 6'4" tight end. It's a 22-yard gain. 7:20 on the clock. Time seems to slow here as East LA is desperately trying to keep Bakersfield off the board. Harrington rolls over to his right. He's going to take it himself. He's at the 30, the 25, and scampers out of bounds at exactly the 25-yard line, and it will be a 2nd down and 3 to go. Flag is called, or flag is thrown, excuse me, as we may have this one brought back on a hold. If so, that's big for East LA. They will take it. And it's a block below the knees, a chop block. And that will jog it all the way back to the 47-yard line. So it's from the spot of the foul. 15-yard penalty that was initially placed at about the 34-yard line. Actually make it the 33-yard line. And now it's placed at the 47. Harrington has looked excellent for Bakersfield today. Big time change of pace for these guys. The Renegades see Harrington take it himself. He nearly gets taken down. Now he's into some trouble. Still trying to get away. Still looking for a teammate. He gets sent out into some open space at the 35. Still losing some more yardage. Here comes Emmanuel Cater. Finally goes out of bounds. And East LA will take it. There should be a flag coming out for the East LA Huskies. And after a huge defensive stop, it will be a takedown 8 feet out of bounds. A huge, huge break for Bakersfield College as Harrington was going to lose 35 yards. He ends up getting out of 2 tackles, gets himself up to the 41, and would have lost about 27. A personal foul going against East LA. It's an automatic first down from the spot of the foul. So nonetheless, it does jog them all the way back to the 43-yard line, but it's a first down. You can't afford for that to happen if you're East LA and trying to keep Bakersfield off the board. Huge opportunity that ends up going to the wayside. Under 6:50 to play. Here in quarter number 4. 44-28 is the score. First down and 10. Wingo going back. Wingo looking right down the middle. It goes to Beatty. Beatty with the catch. 14-yard pickup. Throw goes over towards the far side of the field. Rowland is the one who ends up picking it up. And it will be a 5-yard gain for Bakersfield. New life breathed into this Renegade program just moments ago after they were going to lose 26 yards. And a tackle was made out of bounds. 44-28, the score remains. Under 6 to play. Pass down the right sideline. Roll. Spins away an East LA defender. Husky fans were asking for an offensive pass interference, but they didn't end up getting the call. 5:48 is where the clock is stopped. 3rd down and 4 to go. Harrington is going to go back out there. He has looked really dynamic for this program whenever he uses his legs to move forward down the field. However, using his arm, he has an interception and he has gotten himself into some trouble. So for Harrington, we'll see whether or not he can get his team a first down. Decides to call his own number. Left-hand side, he's got the sticks. He ends up dipping, diving, moving, and shaking his way to the 18-yard line inside the red zone. And now Bakersfield, with 5:40 on the clock, gets a first down. So Harrington will go back to the sideline. He was in to get the first down marker. Back goes Wingo. Wingo still looking. Wingo still looking. Right down the middle. Incomplete pass. Right down the middle. Shamar Westone was there in addition to Kershawn Snelson. And Snelson is the one who breaks it up as Beatty looked initially like he was open. Wingo saw the exact same thing, but it's incomplete and it's 2nd down and 10 from the 18. Snap will be taken by Wingo. He's got 2 over to his right. Wingo drops back. Wingo still looking. Steps up right over to Roll. It's complete at the 5-yard line. Just that little pocket of space is all that Rowland needed to be able to get that reception for the first down.
Completion good for a first down. First and goal for the Renegades.
5 minutes left. Wingle with it. He's going to hand it off. Martin gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. And again, all of this happens after the personal foul by East LA. They had a 26-yard loss going against Harrington and Bakersfield, but the tackle out of bounds gives a first down to Bakersfield. Now it's going to be a handoff on the left-hand side. Looking for a cutback was Martin, and he gets flipped upside down. It's a third down and goal to go at the 5. 4 minutes left. Tremaine Savea is going to jog to the sideline. Ben Key is out there along with Emmanuel Cater. Cater on the far side of the defensive line, trying to get into the backfield, right down the middle. Roll, is he held up? No incomplete pass, or excuse me, no pass interference, and that pass goes incomplete. It's a fourth down and goal from the 5-yard line. Huge opportunity for East LA. Bakersfield knows that they have to go for it. This could be the opportunity to be a dagger. Fourth down. Goal to go, 3:41 left. 44-28 is our score. The snap is taken. Flag is thrown. It may be an offsides. Incomplete pass. It's a turnover. However, there is a flag, as it looked like East LA may have been into the neutral zone just a step early prior to the snap being taken. That would have been a free play for Bakersfield, and if so, it's half the distance to the goal and still a fourth down. So the ball is now at the 2.5-yard line essentially. 3:34 left. So still 7 seconds go off the clock, but now it's increasingly more tough for this East LA defense to try and get a stop here. Opportunity for Wingle. He drops, rolls over to his right, easy touchdown. That is incomplete. It's in and out of the hands of Austin. He was in the end zone. He had no one around him, but he could not haul it in as he took one early peek over to his left shoulder to see if anyone was going to clean him out as soon as he made that catch. There was no one there. He was in the end zone and across the goal line, and that ball goes to the floor. East LA with a defensive stop. 3:28 left. And so the ball is now at the 2.5-yard line. Now it's still crucial for East LA to get this ball out of their deep in their own territory. All they would essentially need is at least a first down, and then they're sitting in really, really good shape. 3.5 to play. 44-28 is our score. On the left-hand side, or near side of the offense, is going to be Cedric Hood. East LA presumably has to hand it off here and get that ball outside of the 2.5-yard line. Here's the handoff. Goes right down the middle. It's going to go to the left-hand side, and Armando Velasco is successful in his attempt to gain at least 5 yards on the carry. He ends up getting 7. It's second down and 7 to go, or second down and 3 to go. 16-point differential. Coach Godinez trying to direct his team to a victory here. Coach Bobby Godinez here in his 4th year as the head coach. Dwan Drummer, the offensive coordinator, talking and motioning to Rudy Garcia. The 6-foot freshman out of Don Lugo. Handoff is there once again. Velasco will drive right down the middle, and a first down is given to East LA. Armando Velasco comes in and does exactly what East LA desperately needs. A timeout is taken by Bakersfield College. They've got 2 more, and they had to use it on a first down. 2:28 left here in this one. East LA trying to close out on a victory if they can hold on for the remaining 2 minutes and 28 seconds. You are watching East LA College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Now at last check around SportsNetUSA.net, San Diego Mesa was in some heavy trouble to Fullerton College, as Fullerton College was up 71-7 as of the last score report. It's now 71-14, 42-17 at the start of, 42-24 at the start of the fourth quarter between Saddleback and Golden West. Glendale and LA Valley with just about 2 minutes left. It is Glendale 40 and LA Valley 23. So Glendale may get their first win of the season against the LA Valley Monarchs here on SportsNetUSA.net. 2 minutes and 32 seconds left. Bakersfield has 2 more timeouts. In the backfield is Pierre Robinson. He's not going to get the handoff. Instead, it's Rudy Garcia. It's a quick pass over towards the near side that goes to Cedric Hood. It's an incomplete pass. And Cedric Hood is immediately going to be checked out for DeMonte Presley. Coaches Dwan Drummer, Brian Dixon, Carlos Arredondo, Jonathan Cervantes, Ronnie Castillo, Darius Turner, Jeremy Harris, and Michael Vega, in addition to Andrew Tree. The entire coaching staff just 2:24 away from getting win number 3. They've got to be able to get close to a first down. Actually, one more first down essentially seals it, as we may see time called by East LA. And it is indeed a timeout that is given to Coach Godinez and his staff. 44-28 is our score. 2:22 left. You are watching East LA College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. So for East LA, that is their final timeout that they can take in this one. And for the East LA Huskies, again, they are at a 2nd down and 10 to go. You know that Bakersfield, immediately after the next 2 plays, is going to call a timeout, which means that after 2nd down, or once we get to 3rd down, timeout is taken, and once we get to 4th down, they can actually get close to stopping the clock. 2nd down and 10 to go. They can indeed stop the clock on East LA. So going into the gun will be Rudy Garcia. Pierre Robinson is there as well. Robinson is going to get the handoff. He'll go right down the middle, and he'll get right to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down coming up, and a timeout immediately called by Bakersfield. 2:12 showing on the scoreboard. So both sides will end up going to their respective benches or sidelines. As with 2:12 left to go, Bakersfield has taken their 2nd timeout. So immediately following this upcoming play, they have the ability to take another timeout so that when 4th down ends up happening, it's not a running clock. And they would get the ball back with right around 2:05 or so left to go in this one. They need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions at minimum. They're down by 16 at 44-28. Still a close enough game for both of these 2 teams to be quite careful about their chances. East LA 44, Bakersfield 28. You go back to that 20-point first quarter for East LA. That has been crucial in this one. 21 points for Bakersfield in the second quarter. But East LA was also able to reply with 14 points of their own. They have led since the opening pick 6 by Kershawn Snelson. Next up, it's Rudy Garcia. Garcia will run it himself. It's a 5-yard gain and a timeout to be taken in just a couple of moments. There it is. And exactly 2:05 on the clock as Bakersfield calls their final timeout of the afternoon. So East LA is going to have to kick it away. Bakersfield has just about 2 minutes and 5 seconds, or at least by the time that the return or kick happens, we'll say about 1 minute and 55 seconds to march down the field, score once, get an extra, or excuse me, not an extra point, but a 2-point conversion in addition to an onside kick and recovering as well. An update from Riverside. Southwestern wasn't able to hang on as they scored 12 points in the second quarter but couldn't put up anything thereafter. Riverside rode a 21-point third quarter to a victory. 34-12, the final there. Juan Rango is on to punt this one away. 2:05 left. Snap is crucial. Nearly a jump by Bakersfield. Kick is away, but it goes off the side of the foot by Rangel, and it will go out of bounds. 1:55 exactly on the clock. The clock is still running. It ticks down to 1:53. And so with a minute and 53 seconds on the clock, and Bakersfield not happy, yelling at the officials that 5 seconds went off. And I think they may have a case here. It looked like that ball landed out of bounds with 1:57 showing. And then 4 seconds ended up ticking off. They're going to give him a full 7 seconds. So 2 minutes exactly on the clock. As Wingo will bring up this offense at the 39-yard line. He's got to get it off quickly. This ball is complete over to Randall. Randall gets taken down in the open field. Beautiful job there by East LA. Time is going to continue to tick as Brandon Peterson got the tackle there. 1:40 as the clock continues to wind. Next up for Wingo, he's got to find a man. He's got one right down the middle, but it's incomplete as it's too far in front of Beatty.
Covering on the play, Watkins. Third down and 8.
Third down and 8 yards to go. Bakersfield not only needs a first down with 1:32 left, but they need scores. They need touchdowns. Coming up for Wingo. He gets taken down. Emmanuel Cater is there. Big play by the big man as a Cater, the 6'3" freshman out of Georgia, makes the play, and it's now a 4th down and 16 yards to go. That's a big play for East LA and possibly pushes Wingo and this Bakersfield offense out of scoring range. Goes back to Wingo. 4 guys rush down the middle of the field. It is picked off. East LA with Snelson, and the Huskies are going to win this football game. That's his second pick of the afternoon. The first one was the pick 6 to open it up, and rightfully, Snelson is the one to close the books here. 49.2 left to go, and East LA is going to go to 3-5 this season. And here on sophomore night, the final home game of the 2019 schedule, East LA will pick up a victory. Couple of knee downs. 2 knees by Rudy Garcia is all it's going to take. Garcia's first is there, and East LA will now march over to Ventura with an opportunity to go to 4-5. Again, it's going to be a tough task. Ventura College has been sensational. They are currently in a fight with College of the Canyons. But as of right now, East LA College with win number 3 this season. They take it over top of Bakersfield by a final of 44-28. Taking a look at Ventura College and where they are, they look like they're about to get upset by College of the Canyons. 48-38, the final, or close to the final there, against the Ventura Pirates. So for East LA, they have an opportunity here. They just need to beat Ventura, they need to beat Moore Park, and they are bowl eligible in year number 2 of being in the National Conference. Coach Bobby Godinez, congratulations on the win, and your entire coaching staff as well. They are now 3-5. Final here of 44-28. One of the big stars here this afternoon has to be Rudy Garcia, and the way that he was able to lace balls. Another huge game ball has to go to the offensive line for East LA, which gave him the opportunity and gave him space to be able to progress through all of his options and still deliver that football out there. Emmanuel Cater on the defensive line looked really good, in addition to Ben Key and Daniel Robledo. But Kershawn Snelson is the star for East LA College. He ends up with a pick 6 to start off the scoring for East LA, and an interception to close the door on Bakersfield College here tonight. That's going to do it for our coverage of East LA College football here in the 2019 season here on SportsNetUSA.net. We want to thank everyone who was involved, especially Serwin over to my right-hand side. It's been a pleasure working with you all semester long. Dylan, thank you very much this season. Also, Coach Bobby Godinez and the entire coaching staff and everyone here at East LA. We want to thank you. Also, Albert Robles as well, who has been the technical director and joined us on the air. A final, East LA 44, Bakersfield 28. East LA now brings it up to 3-5, while Bakersfield drops to 2-6. My name is Ryan Osborn, thanking you for joining us live here at East LA. Again, our final 44-28, East LA with the win over top of the Bakersfield Renegades. Until next time, you are watching East LA College football here on SportsNetUSA.net.